Hey guys, so today we're going to go over a quick tour of our chicken coop that we built last month. So we got the plans for this coop from April Wilkerson's YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description down there. You guys can check that out. She's got plans on her website that you can buy for like 10 bucks, which was definitely worth it. And we made a couple of modifications to the plans since we live here in Michigan and it's colder, so we'll show you guys those different modifications that we made along the way. So we built the actual coop first, and then I built this run around it afterwards, which the run is a lot different than the one that April has on hers, so we'll explain that too. But this is the front door here. Now on April's plan, she has a couple different access panels. We only used one access panel because we wanted to cut down on airflow that could get into the coop when it gets cold during the winter time. So basically, to open up the coop, we've got two barrel bolts. Claire's going to open it here, and those hinge on the piano hinge. And then we just got that chain that's linked with an eye hook at the top here, and then we got a small carabiner at the bottom of the chain, which can be hooked on this other eye hook, and then it'll hold itself up. And then this is the inside here, which we'll explain after we go all around. So the back side of the coop is pretty simple. We just got one of the RV windows. So we got these RV windows from my dad, which was a good deal. And that's kind of a unique feature of the coop. So I'll show you guys how I installed those later on. On the side here, we've got the nesting box. I gotta sand that down a little bit because it's still kind of tough to open up, but
oh god, it's raining.
It's starting to sprinkle here. We got this metal roofing from Menards, which I used on our garage too. You guys can check out that video too. But we got two nesting boxes. Hers had 4, but we're only gonna have like 4 to 6 chickens, so we've just got 2 nesting boxes on it. And the whole coop is built on these 4x4 frames, which we stained just to give it a little bit different look. In the front, another RV window, and then the door, which will show you guys how we kind of jerry-rigged that to open up. And then my dad also hooked us up with this RV outlet so we could get power in there, since we're gonna have to have a heat lamp in the winter to keep the water from freezing, so that's really nice. So here's the inside of the coop. We've got 2 roosting bars, which we just made out of 2x2s and put those across. Our door here, we put another 2x2 almost butted up to the frame of the coop, but we left enough so that we could slide this piece of plywood back and forth. So to close it, well, there's a chicken in there now, so I'm not gonna close her out, but to close it, we just slide that across and back and forth. Now, this is one thing that I might have done differently, is try to get a different mechanism to close the door, because as you can see, straw and stuff gets stuck in the corner there. When you go to close it, it won't close all the way. So every time you close it, you basically got to clean out where the door slides, which gets a little bit annoying. What's up, guys? Really nice because we can open them really easily to let a draft in. And then also in the summertime, they're a little bit tinted so they don't let as much of the heat in, which is also nice. So for the winter, we put a 1/2-inch foam board around everything, which I can show you here on the side of the door. We put the 1/2-inch foam and then a piece of Luan board and spray painted it white so that the chickens won't peck at the foam board. But basically everywhere where you see the white Luan board, there's foam board behind that. So we tried to cover the whole coop, and on the ceiling we didn't put the Luan board because they won't be getting up there. So this is what the electrical looks like on the inside. We got the RV outlet that just comes right in, goes right up to another outlet that we can plug into our heat lamp, which I just attached onto a piece of 2x4 that I screwed onto the side. And since we don't want that falling down and getting in the straw, because that's a fire hazard, I put another eye hook through the ceiling frame and then zip tied around the heat lamp. So just in case that clamp comes off there, it'll just hang on the zip tie. So our little ramp we just made out of extra T111, and I put some small pieces across there so that they got something to grip onto to walk up and down. They're a little bit skittish about going up and down there yet. They've only been in this coop for, how long have they been in here for?
Like a week and a half probably.
Yeah, a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. So, and then I nailed 2 pieces of 2x4 with a groove in the middle of it to hold it down on the ground there. So the run that April put on her coop goes all the way up to the top of the coop so you can walk in and out of it. But ours is, we're not gonna have as many chickens, and we just wanted it to be a little bit smaller, so I only built it up to maybe waist height. And then I put this door on the side with a couple barrel bolts so we can quickly open this pretty easily and let the chickens roam if we want to, and then make sure that we close it up at night. Also covered the entire coop in 1/2-inch cardware cloth. My in-laws, Claire's parents, they have chickens just a couple miles from us, and they had a mink get into their coop last year and get all their chickens, so we wanted to get some kind of predator netting that's small enough to keep those kind of animals out too. Maybe in a future video we'll show you their coop too, so stay tuned. So here is a video on how we put in the RV windows. This is what we're going to be using today. 1-inch machine screws, 1-inch fender washers, power drill, and then silicone acrylic caulk for windows and doors. That's paintable. Okay, so we're going to apply a generous bead of caulk around the entire window, place it in the frame, and then we'll attach it with the screws. So we've pre-installed these 3/4 inch plywood strips on all 4 sides of the window. Side, on the top, on this other side, and then also on the bottom. So when the screw is going to go into the hole, the washer is going to catch on the plywood, and that'll draw the window in. So I built the coop in front of our garage right there, and then we ended up having, we picked a spot to put it way over there. So I'm going to show you guys how we moved it, which was a challenge. Oh, and for the cost, because I like to give you guys numbers here, we spent about $750 on all the supplies for this coop, so I know that's pretty expensive for the amount of eggs that we're going to be getting, but you could definitely cut down the cost if you live in a warmer climate where you don't need the foam board and the Luan. You know, that would cut some money out of it. You know, and making it smaller in size. If you're not so worried about the predators, you could take the cost of the run and hardware cloth out of it. That was probably $150 right there. So there are ways to cut down on the cost. So I hope you guys enjoyed that quick tour of our coop. If you have any questions about how we did the windows or anything regarding the coop, just put it down in the comments and I'll be sure to get with you. And check out April Wilkerson's link to how she made this version of her coop too.